Your league mates will draft Christian McCaffrey round 1. They'll draft CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase round 1. They'll think, oh man, I won this draft. I took Jamar Chase first overall. Boys, drafts are won. Teams are made with the depth of the later rounds. The people that turn from trash into treasure. And that's what we're talking about in today's video. 5 names. Guys way too low on all of the rankings. Best ball. Dynasty. I mean, they're trade targets. They're best ball guys that can win you Best Ball Mania. And of course, redraft targets as well. The first name. This is a guy that's like, if you're in a rookie draft, man, Mason Taylor is way too low. First things first. Mason Taylor is ranked below Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Ferguson is behind Tyler Higbee, and Tyler Higbee had a pretty damn good end to 2024 with Matthew Stafford coming back from the injury. So Mason Taylor should not be that low in rookie rankings, and there's a reason for this. First off, yes, the camp buzz is Mason Taylor's OP. You can't really read too much into the rookie minicamp stuff. But beyond that, look at the depth chart. They were tight end 2 on the New York Jets, and Mason Taylor was picked with high draft capital for this New York Jets offense. He was a round 2 selection, guys. You got Jeremy Rucker, who? As the tight end 2. You got Stone Smart. Dude was trash in LA, he's going to be trash in New York. Now, the wide receiver 2, you got Allen Lazard. The wide receiver 3, you got Josh Reynolds. There's nobody there in New York besides Garrett Wilson. And now, an exciting prospect with Mason Taylor. You got a new quarterback, he's going to be looking for help. You got a big body tight end. I think Mason Taylor is a good option in every single format. Best ball, in redraft leagues, ESPN currently has him at ADP 217. They have him going right before Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, might not even play the whole year. They have him going right before Alexander Madison, who's now on the Dolphins. They have him going right before Miles Sanders on the Cowboys. Right before Calvin Austin, Alec Pierce. Like now, he's such a good late talent, guys. We're talking 217 overall. That's undrafted in a redraft league. And you're potentially getting the tight end 1, rookie tight end, round 2 draft capital for a New York Jet offense with Justin Fields, who can't even throw the ball more than 10 yards anyway, right? So I like this a lot, especially in best ball leagues and redraft leagues. Looking at the second name, we head to the Falcons. Now the Falcons, I'll be honest, I'm not as excited about this one because this is just premium handcuff running back. Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier has kind of been a decent part of this Atlanta Falcons offense. He's averaged, single-digit PPR points per game his entire career. 2022 rookie season, plays all 16 games, 9.9 PPR points per game, almost 10. Then 8 in 2023, and then 6.25 PPR points per game in 2024. Looking at his yards per attempt, though, his yards per attempt was 4.7 in 2024. Juke rate was up there at 21%. That ain't too shabby. Yards per target was a little bit down from the previous 2 seasons, but it was still pretty good at 7 yards per target. His team target share did drop from 5% to 2.5%. The thing is here, Bijan Robinson will command the workload for the Atlanta Falcons. It's a new look Atlanta Falcon offense. And Algier, we're going to see how does Algier kind of fit into that puzzle piece structure. The good news is that if Bijan Robinson goes down, Algier is probably my favorite handcuff running back in the league. Now, his last couple weeks of the season, his snap share, it was pretty much around 25%. So he's already playing 25% of the snaps, even though Bijan Robinson is healthy. If Bijan Robinson was to miss some time, don't mind if I do, Mr. Algier. Now, the reason I do like Algier is mostly going to be for best ball formats. I feel like in a redraft league, unless you have Bijan Robinson, you're kind of wasting your time if you go ahead and draft a premium handcuff, unless it's in the super late rounds. Looking at where he is ranked, Algier is actually 147 in a redraft league. So he's going right before Bashal Tutin and Jadon Blue. And total transparency, if you're in a redraft format, I like Bashal Tutin and Jadon Blue actually more than I do like Tyler Algier. So I like Tyler Algier because in best ball, he's going at 147. And in best ball at that ADP, I do think Tyler Algier can potentially be a league winner. If there is a Bijan Robinson injury, if he misses any time, Tyler Algier will immediately go right into your lineup and give you usable running back points. And it's going to be an advantage over the competition. Name number 3 is DeAndre Swift. And I like DeAndre Swift in all leagues. In best ball, he's hold on. That's Dynasty. In Dynasty, he's at 130. I was like, damn. In best ball, he's 80 overall ADP. That's still way too low. Looking at him in his career, right? So obviously Detroit, the first 3 years of his career, only played about 13 games per season. Then 2023, Eagles, 16 games. 2024, Bears, 17 games. So he's averaged the last 2 years his lowest PPR points per game in his last 2 seasons, around 12.5 each year, around RB20 the last 2 seasons. The encouraging sign here is that he had the second highest, tied with his highest actually, snap percentage of his career at 67% in 2024. The Bears liked using him. The Bears have said we're committed to seeing DeAndre Swift flourish in the offense in 2025, and I actually believe them. Like, there's not too much depth behind DeAndre Swift. Quenton Johnson, I'm not scared. They just got rid of Khalil Herbert. Like, I'm not scared of anybody else in the Chicago Bears offense to take snaps from DeAndre Swift that are meaningful snaps. 67% of the snaps in the Bears offense, which now has Luther Burden, which now has Colston Loveland. Rome Odunze was trash in year 1. Maybe he gets a little bit better, and I think they're going to be in the red zone a little bit more. 7.4 yards per target in 2024. Not too shabby. And 2.5 receptions per game. Now, his yards per attempt was the lowest of the career, but maybe the Bears invested a little bit more in the offensive line. I love DeAndre Swift in all formats. Looking at the guys that he's currently going around on ESPN ADP, and this is where things get a little bit crazy, right? You're in your redraft league. DeAndre Swift is number 67. They have him right before David Montgomery, who's the RB2 on the Lions. They have him after Rome Odunze. They have him after Jameson Williams, after Jerry Jeudy, which I understand why those guys are that high. They have him after RJ Harvey. Like, I think it's a toss-up. I'd rather have DeAndre Swift over RJ Harvey, especially with the J.K. Dobbins news. So I actually am going to be saying DeAndre Swift is a smash of a hit in the 5th round or 6th round of your redraft league as well. Looking at number 4, we got Marquise Hollywood Brown. Now, injuries are a concern. He's only played 28 games over the last 3 seasons, obviously only 2 the previous year. Now, in 2021, don't forget, this guy averaged 14.1 PPR points per game with the Ravens. Not a great career in Arizona. He did average 13 PPR points per game in his first season. Now, in 2024, he only played 2 games. His yards per out run was at 6, so obviously it's way too small of a sample size. He's attached to one of the best, he obviously was with Lamar Jackson, but now he's with Patrick Mahomes. And we haven't seen Mahomes have that deep ball connection really with anyone since Tyreek Hill. Yes, Xavier Worthy was solid. Mahomes obviously is feeding PPR points to Rashee Rice, who's obviously a smash hit this year as well. But Marquise Brown is now going to be connected to Patrick Mahomes this season. It sounds like Marquise Brown is going to be healthy. His ADP is quite low. Looking at the best ball ADP of Marquise Brown, we have him at 130. The spike weeks alone from Marquise Brown, like, this guy is somebody, I would compare him to Jameson Williams. I love Jameson Williams a lot more than this guy, but at ADP of 130, you're getting, at 130 ADP in best ball, you're not really getting anybody that's too talented. Looking at the ADP of 130 in a redraft league, it's not looking too good. Taking a look at who we have him at ADP 134 in redraft leagues. Cedric Tillman, Jake Ferguson, Tyler Warren is actually a great pick at that ADP. But he's going around Wan'Dale Robinson, Marvin Mims Jr., Rashad Bateman, Pat Bryant, Jalen McMillan. Like, I'm taking Hollywood Brown over those guys for the spike weeks alone. If I need a flex player, Hollywood Brown can drop 20 points in 1 week with a 50-yard touchdown catch. So that's why I like Hollywood Brown, especially mostly in best ball formats. But I do like his redraft potential as well, his current ADP. Then we got the big Q. We got Quenton Johnson. Now, Quenton Johnson is 132.5 ADP in best ball. This guy played all of his games as a rookie. He wasn't good. Now, in year 2, he took a step forward, 22% team target share, 11.65 PPR points per game, 72% snap percentage, 47.4 yards per game, and half a touchdown per game. So basically 1 touchdown every 2 games. Really solid wide receiver 2 season from Quenton Johnson, considering where he was being drafted last year. I think Quenton Johnson, the big Q, don't worry too much about Trey Harris. You got Minkowski at the wide receiver 1. You got Trey Harris, who will be the immediate wide receiver 2. There's not really anyone there to compete with Quenton Johnson for the wide receiver 3 snaps. I'm not too worried about it. The tight end room also is trash with Disley, Conklin. Like, they're not going to take too much of the team target share. Even if we see a target share percentage of like 17%, so down 4 points from 2024, I still think Quenton Johnson averages like 9, 10 PPR points per game. And at ADP of 133 in best ball, that's going to slot into your lineup a few times, especially considering he averaged 1 touchdown every 2 weeks. You'll be able to have some startable weeks from him for sure. Those are 5 guys that are way too low in ADP that can be league winners. Smash the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen.